I'm going to ask you guys a question, and it's not a trick question. I just want a yes or a no. Okay. Do you guys think that selling insurance paid roofing is that hard?
No.
No. We are, it's the easiest sale in the world. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. We are practically giving roofs away to people who already need them, right?
Right.
But, but we say that in one hand, we're like, oh, it's the easiest sale in the world. And yet it seems like it's taken a long time for most people to catch on, and most people quit before they figure it out, right? So here's my analogy that I use. A cake is not hard to bake. We can all agree a cake is pretty simple, right? It's like 5 freaking ingredients, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you hire people for your bakery and then you go, here's the pantry. You guys kind of know what goes in a cake, right? Eggs, flour, sugar. Yeah, you guys have probably eaten cake before. Knock yourselves out. Go make me cakes. If they don't have a recipe on paper, baking a cake becomes college AP chemistry. It's literally college chemistry, right? You have to find a very special person who can figure out how to make that 5 ingredient cake. The same cake, if the recipe is on paper, is easy bake oven. The same cake. Okay, roof sales is the same. If you don't have the sales process on paper for them in a step-by-step way for them to learn, it's rocket science. If you have it on paper, it's 5th grade home economics class, right?
Yeah. Especially for the person who has no natural ability, or they're fighting against their presentation, their image, whatever, you know.
Exactly. And this is why roofers say the same thing to me all the time. They're like, well, we just can't find the right people. And I'm like, that's not what this is about. Roof sales is not hard, but you think you have to find unicorns because you don't have any training for them. So these people show up who could do it, but instead of handing them a box of cake mix, you're like, there's the pantry. You want to sell, right? It's a numbers game. That's not how this works. So here's the thing, and I know I keep using this prop, but what I've done is I have dumbed down the entire sales process for them word for word so that any monkey who can read can learn to do this. Because now you hire people, and the question is not, do you know college chemistry? Do you know how to sell? The question is, do you know how to read, bud? Because there's 3 directions. And if you just learn this, now you can make this cake. Okay. So that's my funny little analogy. But here's the deal. I'm going to show you something, right? And again, I'm a big proponent of numbers just don't lie. And I'm going to show you what kind of results people get using my class. So there's a couple different pieces to this, but the main part is like when you bring people on, they need a basic boot camp training. So what I've got for step 1 is like your turnkey classroom style training. That's formal sales training. So again, I'm giving you the box of cake mix with the instructions on the back and half the ingredients of the box. You just follow the instructions. Okay. So there's 3 parts to this. You're going to get a trainer's guide. So I'm literally training the trainer, like, hey, here's what we're doing. Here's how this works. Here's why we're doing it like this, blah, blah, blah. Step 2 is going to be the training script. So you're literally going to print out day 1, day 2 of training, day 3 of training, and you just read it to the class. It's so easy. Like Candace, if Candace doesn't know anything about roofing, Candace could run this class and you'd have a great training class because it's just following the instructions. Okay. Meanwhile, in class, your trainees are going to be following along in their own 150-page storm restoration sales training manual. This is 150 pages of word for word scripts, exactly what they're going to do. I've got my word for word door pitches in there, the most common objections that they're going to
say. Yes, what to say to no's.
Exactly what to say. They're prepared for the objections. They know exactly what to say. My word for word bulletproof sales presentation and contingency close. Like word for word verbatim. They're going to learn exactly how I do it. Okay. And I call it bulletproof for a reason. Like customers.
Do you remember? Do you remember a video you did maybe a couple of years ago, a few years ago, differentiating yourself at the door?
Oh yeah. Yes.
So I watched that video years ago when I started. Use your pitch verbatim, right?